Hey there, my fellow intellectuals. Today is my first day of summer. I use that term loosely because, as a graduate student, summer isn't really what you might think of summer when you are in school. When you're in school, like in college, you think of summer as great, time to vacation, time to not think of anything school related, while in graduate school, that is all you really do. Summer is like the prime time to do research, it's the prime time to make progress on just everything you weren't able to make progress on during the actual academic school year, um, which actually did a fair amount of progress. So maybe I'll just do more of that in the summer. But this is the end of my second year in graduate school, and I thought it might be interesting to just reflect on this year, reflect on what I've learned, and reflect on my experiences, and just talk about what I'm excited about, for my third year and beyond. Um, because my third year marks like the halfway point of my graduate education, and I cannot believe that I'm already about to enter my third year. That's just crazy to me. But as for my second year, um, I have to say I think the second year is more of what graduate school is really like. I mean, obviously, I haven't had my third year yet, but my second year featured only one class per quarter, and me focusing on my research project way more intensely than I have ever done at any point of my education. Like my first year, I had a TA, and I also had to take like three classes a quarter, and so research really wasn't a priority. And I was also studying for a qualifying exam, so I didn't really have to worry about research then. But this year definitely had to worry about research. Had to, think about ways to improve. How to think of, just ideas and topics that I could pursue, and I think that I could complete. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words here, but this year was way less stressful than my first year in graduate school, and I think that's mostly the case for most people's experiences. But for me, at least, for sure, it definitely was way less stressful. My first year, I don't even know how I got through my first year. If I had to do my first year again, I don't know if I could do it because that just took a lot out of me. Like TAing and taking classes and studying for this big test at the end of the year. I don't think I could do that again. My second year just really came down to, how do I make more progress on my research? What questions can I ask my advisor? What emails can I send to our collaborators that they could help me with my research? And just reading a bunch of research papers. And I think this was a really big year in terms of development as a researcher because I also got to go to workshops, astronomy workshops, at various locations. So in October, I went to this graduate student workshop at Lake Observatory on Mount Hamilton in San Jose, California. And we pretty much got a tour of the facility, and we learned about the history of Lake Observatory, and we got to actually use some of the instruments to look at astronomical objects, which was extremely valuable. I'm actually going to go up there in a couple of weeks for an observing run. I also got to I got to go to a workshop in Charlottesville, Virginia, which was on interferometry and radio astronomy, which was so awesome because it was at the National Radio Astronomical Observatory over there in Charlottesville. And so this year was a big year in terms of professional development as a researcher, and it just gave me a lot of confidence to move forward in my research. And it also signaled a breakthrough, sort of, in my research. And I say sort of because I didn't really make any sort of new discoveries, but it was, for my project at least, a really big deal because I'm in the process of building a programming code in Python that can model the masses of supermassive black holes by looking at the orbits of molecular gas in the central region of the galaxy. So my code, as of about a month ago, which I've been working on since last July, was just able to reproduce a result that my group has confirmed and is about to publish on, actually, in, I think they've already actually submitted to the journal article, so I don't know when it'll be published. But essentially, I was able to reproduce something that my group has done before and are pretty confident in the results in. So the fact that my code was able to essentially reproduce this makes me feel confident that yes, I can now move forward. I can use my code and apply it to different, galaxies to measure their supermassive black holes. So in terms of the research side, that's how I feel about it. I feel like I really developed this year in a very positive way, which is great, and I'm looking to improve even more this summer and in the coming years. In terms of the class side of things, which this year was way less class heavy. Like I said, I only took one class per quarter this year, and there's 3 quarters in an academic year. So one class a quarter for 3 quarters, and that is just such a new experience to anyone who's gone to college and you've had to take 4 or 5, maybe 6 or more classes. Except you're crazy if you take more than 6, right? But those kind of classes, amount of classes in a school year, in a term, and taking one class a quarter, I was amazed at how much you can just focus on that subject and really take the time to learn and absorb it. And the sad thing is that it's kind of sad when I realized that, to really learn a subject at this level, at the graduate level and graduate level physics, is that you really just need to sit down and just take your time to digest it. And taking a ton of classes at one time really inhibits that. It's really hard to really learn everything about a subject in a course. And in fact, I'll go and say it's pretty much impossible to learn everything about a subject. I mean, any of these subjects are, their own research field at this point. So, it's just amazing to me, honestly, how much there is to know. And even though I've learned so much in my second year in graduate school, I always have this feeling of like, man, I don't know enough, right? Because, I have to think about advancing to candidacy, which for those of you who don't know, advancing to candidacy means you're going to take pretty much an oral test in front of a committee talking about your research project and your thesis and, what are your plans and what are the ideas you have. And you're going to talk about it with a bunch of experts, which sounds terrifying. And I have to do that in about maybe less than a year. So looking forward to that. Not really. But that's what's coming up. And it just amazes me how much I feel like I don't know a lot of things, even though technically, I should know a lot, but a lot in terms of the vast amount of knowledge you could know in physics. I don't feel like I know that much. But, I guess that's the sort of the path that I've chosen. This is the path that all of us have chosen going to graduate school. It's the path of the pursuit of knowledge and to learn more than we ever could have possibly have dreamed of. And adding contributions to the total human knowledge on these subjects. So, that's what I think I have to say about my second year. Sorry if it's not really cohesive. I just literally just brain dumped a lot of these thoughts and emotions that I've been thinking about this year as I look forward towards the summer. But I'm looking forward to making more videos like this where I just talk about my experiences. I might even vlog, maybe. I'm not really comfortable vlogging yet, so maybe not. We'll see. But I'm also going to be starting a podcast this summer, which is going to be really exciting. I'm going to be doing it with my friend, and we're going to just talk about our experiences and show more of the other side of life as a graduate student outside of research, because I think that's really important to see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're looking forward to this summer as much as I am in terms of my content, and I will see you guys later.